So today's lesson, I'm going to show you a different way to organize your information when you're doing research using the box and bullet method. And that was shown in the video before this. If you watched the video, hopefully you did, to show you what it means when it talks about boxes and bullets. And so today I'm going to read this section of a new book, and I'm going to recognize that, of course, this is nonfiction, and I can tell because there are real photographs, there are captions on the photographs, there are maps, there's a little side box or side information box. So those are the ways that I can tell. There's also a heading here, and this heading is crops and climate. Now, we learned about climate last week, and climate is the weather pattern or the weather that is mostly in an area, a specific area. So like the climate of Minnesota is that it's hot in the summertime. It's not always hot every single day, but for the most part, it's hot. And in the wintertime, it's cold and snowy. And it doesn't mean every day is snowy. It just means that for the most part, we have weather that's snowy and cold in the wintertime. That's what climate means. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading, and then I'm going to model using the box and bullets, and then you will be using the same document on your own book. Stretching from Maine to Florida, the East Coast is a land of many climates. Climate impacts the types of crops a farmer grows. For example, blueberries do well in colder climates. No state produces more wild blueberries than Maine. The fruit grows naturally in Maine's forests, while blueberries grow in fertile barrens in coastal Maine. That includes Machias County, where people hold the annual Wild Blueberry Festival. Smoothies, muffins, and pies are all abundant at this festival. It's easier to grow peaches in Georgia than in Maine. Georgia is wetter, warmer, and has a long growing season. The state grows more than 1.7 million bushels of peaches per year. Each June, Peach County hosts the Georgia Peach Festival. And then just kind of looking on here, I can see here's Georgia on the map, and then it says Georgia ranks third in peach production behind California and South Carolina, which are also warm states. And then here it says Maine produced about 45.8 million kilograms, that's 101 million pounds of wild blueberries in 2015. And here's a map that shows where Maine is. So Maine is in the north, Georgia's in the south. Vermont's climate is well suited to maple sugaring, a technique Native American people taught European rulers. Cool nighttime temperatures in the spring make the sap in maple trees run or flow. At the Vermont Maple Sugar Festival in April, people can learn how to tap maple trees and make sweet syrup using modern tools. So here you can see Vermont, and it looks like Pennsylvania is another state that produces a lot of maple syrup, maple sugar. Canada and the United States are the world's top producers of maple syrup. And then I'm going to read this text box or this information box. James Smith of Pennsylvania was 18 in 1775 when he was captured by the Lenape, Delaware Native American people. He observed them as they worked. Shortly after we came to this place, the women began to make sugar. Their large bark vessels for holding the stock water frequently freezes at night, and in sugar time, and the ice they break and cast out of their vessels. I asked them if they were not throwing away the sugar. They said no, it was water they were casting away. Sugar did not freeze. So the boxes and bullets method recommends reading the text twice. So I read it once for you, and then I read it twice to myself. The next thing in the boxes and bullets method of taking notes, I'm going to read the topic sentences. So the first sentence of each paragraph. So the first one says, stretching from Maine to Florida, The East Coast is a land of many climates. Climate impacts the types of crops a farmer grows. So that's the first sentence or the topic sentence for that paragraph. Now I'm going to go to the second paragraph. It's easier to grow peaches in Georgia than in Maine. There's the topic sentence of the next one. And now I'm going to read the topic sentence of the third one. Vermont's climate is well suited to maple sugaring, a technique Native American people taught European settlers. So now I've read the topic sentence for that one. Now I'm going to read the ending sentence for each one. Smoothies, muffins, and pies are all abundant at this festival. Now I'm going to read the last one of this paragraph. Peach County hosts the Georgia Peach Festival. They're both talking about festivals. And then in the third one, at the Vermont Maple Sugar Festival in April, people can learn how to tap maple trees and make sweet syrup using modern tools. There is another festival that it's talking about. So I've got festivals and I've got crops, which are things that they grow, and climate. Those are the three kind of big ideas. So now when I'm thinking about my document, I have, which you are going to make a copy of your own, box and bullet graphic organizer. So if we look at this, it has main idea, and then it has supporting details. So the main idea is the box, and then the supporting details are the bullets. So thinking about what my main idea is, I know, I'm going to double click in my text box, I know that this is about crops and climates and festivals. So my main idea is that certain crops or specific crops grow in specific climates. They talk about 3 different climates. So certain crops, that is, crops are like things that you grow, food that you grow in specific climates. Okay, and then my supporting details. So my first one is that in this first one, it talks about blueberries in Maine. So blueberries grow in Maine because the climate is cooler I'm going to put cold because it says blueberries do well in cold climates. Okay, now my second one is my second paragraph. It's easier to grow peaches in Georgia than in Maine. So Georgia is wetter and warmer and has a longer growing season. So Georgia grows peaches because it has a wetter, warmer climate and the growing season is long. Now that must mean that the peaches need a long time to be ready to pick. Okay, and then my third one, Vermont's climate is well suited to maple sugaring, a technique Native American people taught European settlers. Cool nighttime temperatures in the spring. So that is their climate. So maple sugaring is done in Vermont because the climate is cool in the nighttime in the spring. And that's when the maple syrup runs. All right, so now I'm done with my bullet points. So in your book, you're going to be looking at your book in RazKids. Some of you have the Rocky Mountain National Park, and then others have a book called, let's see what it's called. It is called the other groups 1 and 2 have a book called Cranberries, which kind of fits in because cranberries also grow in Maine. And so that kind of fits there too. Maybe they'll talk about climate there. If you're reading one of the books in the upper levels, the Rocky Mountain National Park, you can do it on just a section because they're very long books. Just make sure that you tell me which section you're doing. Make sure that you share your slide with me when you're done. If you don't remember, let's see. Okay, if you can't remember how to share your document with me, you're going to click share. You're going to click here and you're going to just start typing my name. You can either start typing Christine or you can start typing Souden. And there it is. And then you just click on it and send. That's it.